I'm 52 years old. You know, I'm rhyming like I still feel the love of what is that I have for this culture. And I didn't know when I was 19 rapping. I was thinking like by the time I'm 30, man, I might not be able to do this.
From Common, who's still penning verses sharper than rappers half his age, to Queen Latifah, who turned hip-hop royalty into Hollywood dominance, to Ice-T, who flipped street survival into a multi-million-dollar legacy. In this video, we're looking at some of the oldest rappers still active in the game, starting with Queen Latifah.
The best piece of advice I ever received came from my partner / manager, Rakim, and it was, it ain't that serious.
Coming in at number 10, we got the undisputed queen herself, Queen Latifah, born March 18, 1970, making her 55 years young and still commanding respect across every platform she touches with grace and power. Now, Dana Elaine Owens didn't just step into hip-hop. She kicked every door down with her debut album, All Hail the Queen, back in 1989, blending conscious rap with jazz, reggae, and house influences that had heads spinning and critics taking notice of this fresh new voice. That album went gold and featured the legendary track Ladies First, where she challenged the male-dominated scene, proving women could spit with the best of them and deserved equal respect in the cypher. But Latifah's genius wasn't just in her bars, it was in her versatility and ability to cross over into multiple industries. She took that Grammy home in 1994 for UNITY, a track that called out street harassment and misogyny with such precision and unapologetic boldness that it became an anthem for empowerment across the culture, resonating with women everywhere who were tired of being disrespected. Then she pivoted to acting with remarkable success, earning an Oscar nomination for Chicago in 2002, becoming the first Black woman nominated for Best Supporting Actress since 1935, which was absolutely groundbreaking for representation in Hollywood and opened doors for countless performers who followed in her footsteps. Fast forward to 2025, and the Queen is still holding court in multiple arenas, proving her relevance spans generations. She performed at the 97th Academy Awards in March, delivering a tribute to Quincy Jones that had the whole Dolby Theater on their feet, reminding everyone why she's royalty in entertainment. Then in April, she surprised Coachella, joining Megan Thee Stallion on stage in a quilted Moschino jacket, proving she can still rock a festival crowd with that same energy and charisma from decades ago. Meanwhile, The Equalizer Season 5 is filming. She's producing a living single reboot for Netflix, and she's out here headlining charity benefits for youth arts, programs giving back to the community that raised her and nurturing the next generation of talent.
First of all, bottom line, a woman's body is a woman's body. This is my body. You don't know what goes on inside of it. You can't tell me what to do with it. Take your hands off of my body, please.
At 55, Queen Latifah embodies what it means to evolve without losing your essence, inspiring everyone from Nicki Minaj to Janelle Monáe to follow in her multifaceted footsteps. While Queen Latifah ruled with versatility and grace, our next legend reshaped the very language of hip-hop with precision and poetry. Rakim. At number 9, we got the God MC himself, Rakim, born William Michael Griffin Jr. on January 28, 1968, who's 58 and still dropping that legendary wisdom that revolutionized the entire art of MCing. Yo, when we talk about who changed hip-hop forever, Rakim's name sits at the top of that list, no debate.
Everybody was categorized as rappers, old school or this, and things were starting to separate at that point. And to be able to, be on a joint with Dre and Jay, you know what I mean? Just let people know that, I've been around for a while, but I still know what I'm doing, and I'm still here.
Growing up in Wyandanch, New York on Long Island as the nephew of R&B legend Ruth Brown, young William was surrounded by musical excellence from birth, absorbing that artistic DNA that would later transform rap. He wrote his first rhyme at age 7 about Mickey Mouse and initially dreamed of playing professional football as quarterback for Wyandanch High School. But destiny had different plans when he met DJ Eric B. in 1986, forming one of hip-hop's most influential duos. That same year, Rakim joined the Nation of Gods and Earths, 5% Nation, adopting the name Rakim Allah, which deeply influenced his spiritual, introspective lyricism that elevated rap to poetry. Their debut, Paid in Full, in 1987 went platinum and was ranked the greatest hip-hop album by MTV, introducing the world to Rakim's internal rhymes, multi-syllabic flows, and complex metaphors that nobody had heard before, literally inventing modern rap flow.
I remember, in the studio, I was sitting on the couch and I started rapping. So he let the rhyme get almost to the end. He stopped the music. He was like, yo, why don't you get up and try, put a little more energy in it.
Albums like Follow the Leader, 1988, and Don't Sweat the Technique, 1992, continued pushing boundaries, with Rakim's jazz-influenced stoic delivery earning him the title God MC and inspiring literally every rapper who came after, from Nas to Eminem to Jay-Z, who all cite him as the blueprint. His solo career produced gems like The 18th Letter, 1997, which went gold and debuted at number 4 on Billboard 200, proving he could carry that legendary status without Eric B. After a 15-year album hiatus, Rakim returned triumphantly in 2024, releasing G.O.D's Network, Rebirth, on July 26, a self-produced 7-track masterpiece featuring posthumous verses from Nipsey Hussle, DMX, and Prodigy, alongside Snoop Dogg and Method Man, reminding everyone why he's untouchable. In 2025, he received the George Peabody Medal for Outstanding Contributions to Music and Dance on May 21st from Johns Hopkins University, a prestigious honor recognizing his transformative impact on music globally. He's been touring consistently, with dates including performances at Yoshi's in Oakland and Wintrust Arena in Chicago, bringing that timeless flow to audiences who've waited decades to witness greatness. At 58, Rakim remains the gold standard for lyrical excellence, the measuring stick by which all MCs are judged. But from New York lyricism to West Coast cool, our next icon took hip-hop from the block to the world stage with effortless swagger. Snoop Dogg.
Snoop, you can't go nowhere in the world and then they're not recognize you. Can you go to a bagel shop that's owned by a Jewish guy named Diego?
It's one spot I used to be able to go to, and then my cover got blown. I used to go in there all the time. It was an Asian grocery store. They had the best meat in town. It was bomb. Their meat was just amazing, the fish and everything. So I'm in the back one day with the butcher. It's like the third time I done went up in there. He come out the back this time. He got cameras and all kinds of shit. I knew you would.
Number 8 takes us to the West Coast icon himself, Snoop Dogg, born Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr. on October 20th, 1971, who's 54, and still moving through the culture like the legend he is, transcending hip-hop into global phenomenon status. Born in Long Beach, California, to a mother who raised him mostly alone after his father left, young Calvin earned the nickname Snoopy from his resemblance to the Peanuts character, which is honestly adorable when you think about it. Growing up Baptist, he sang and played piano in church, influenced by old school R&B and his mother's choir, but the streets of Long Beach pulled him in different directions as he joined the Rollin' 20s Crips gang as a teen, leading to arrests for cocaine possession after graduating high school in 1989. During incarceration, he formed the group 2 on 13 with cousins Nate Dogg and Warren G, and a freestyle tape eventually reached Dr. Dre's ears, changing everything forever when Dre signed him to Death Row Records in 1991. His debut on Deep Cover, 1992, and The Chronic established his signature drawl delivery that became synonymous with West Coast G-Funk, and then Doggy Style, 1993, topped the Billboard 200, going quadruple platinum with hits like Gin and Juice and Who Am I? What's My Name? That defined an entire era of hip-hop. Over 3 decades, Snoop has sold over 23 million albums in the US and 35 million worldwide, earning 17 Grammy nominations while constantly reinventing himself. From gangsta rapper to reggae artist as Snoop Lion, to gospel singer, to electronic music collaborator. His business empire is equally impressive. He acquired Death Row Records in 2022, revitalizing the label that launched his career, launched cannabis brands like Leafs by Snoop, created gin and juice cocktails with Dr. Dre in 2024, and even co-owns Swansea City AFC soccer team as of July 2025. In 2025, Snoop released 2 albums, the gospel project Altar Call on April 27th, a 21-track tribute to his late mother featuring Charlie Burrell, and surprise album Is It a Crime? On May 15th, following 2024's Missionary with Dr. Dre, that peaked in the top 20 Billboard 200, he's been coaching on The Voice season 28, while winning 2 sports Emmys in 2025 for his 2024 Paris Olympics commentary, which had the whole world laughing and loving his authentic reactions. Philanthropically, his Snoop Youth Football League has served 1,500+ kids since 2005, providing opportunities for underserved communities. At 54, Snoop Dogg isn't just active, he's everywhere, proving versatility and longevity define true icon status. Ice Cube. Coming in at number 7, we got the original gangsta with the permanent scowl, Ice Cube, born O'Shea Jackson Sr. on June 15, 1969, who's 56 and still bringing that raw, unfiltered truth that made him a legend across music and film. Growing up in the Westmont section of South Los Angeles, O'Shea witnessed the harsh realities of inner-city life firsthand. His half-sister was murdered when he was just 12, scarring him with trauma that would fuel his uncompromising lyrics about violence, injustice, and survival in the streets. His stage name came from his brother, threatening to put him in a freezer to turn him into an ice cube, which is both hilarious and perfectly captures his cold, calculated delivery on the mic. He began writing raps in typewriting class at George Washington Preparatory High School after a friend challenged him, discovering his natural gift for storytelling and social commentary that would reshape hip-hop forever. In 1987, he joined NWA, contributing heavily to Straight Outta Compton, 1988, the album that introduced gangsta rap to mainstream America and sparked nationwide controversy with tracks like The Police that called out brutal law enforcement tactics. But financial disputes with manager Jerry Heller led Cube to leave NWA in 1989, sparking a bitter feud documented in diss tracks that became hip-hop folklore. His solo debut, AmeriKKK's Most Wanted, 1990, went platinum immediately, produced by Public Enemy's Bomb Squad, showcasing his politically charged, confrontational style that didn't pull punches. Then came Death Certificate, 1991, one of hip-hop's most controversial albums, split into Death Side and Life Side, featuring the NWA Diss No Vaseline that's still considered one of the greatest diss tracks ever recorded. The Predator, 1992, debuted at number 1 on Billboard, selling over 3 million copies with hits like It Was a Good Day, referencing the LA riots and cementing his status as West Coast royalty. His acting career took off with Boys in the Hood, 1991, as Doughboy, followed by writing and starring in the Friday franchise that became cultural touchstones, plus roles in Barbershop, 21 Jump Street, and producing Straight Outta Compton, 2015, through his Cube Vision company. In 2025, Cube released his 12th studio album, Man Up, on September 12th, a 14-track project emphasizing responsibility and resilience, featuring Before Hip Hop with LL Cool J and Chuck D, and Act My Age with Scarface. He's on the Truth to Power 4 Decades of Attitude Tour 2025, his first major US tour in a decade, hitting cities like Atlanta, Toronto, and Chicago through late 2025 into 2026. With a net worth of $180 million and his Big Three basketball league still thriving, Ice Cube at 56 proves pioneers evolve without compromising their message. Up next, we have that one artist who proved hip-hop could heal hearts as powerfully as it could move crowds. Common.
I mean, I'm 52 years old. You know, I'm rhyming like I still feel the love of what is that I have for this culture. And I didn't know when I was 19 rapping, I was thinking like by the time I'm 30, man, I might not be able to do this.
Number 6 brings us to Chicago's conscious voice, Common, born Lonnie Rashid Lynn Jr. on March 13, 1972, who's 54 and still representing that thoughtful, socially aware hip-hop that elevates the culture beyond entertainment into activism and artistry. Born on Chicago's South Side to educator Mahalia Ann Hines and former ABA basketball player Lonnie Lynn Sr., young Lonnie experienced his parents' divorce at age 6, but maintained a strong relationship with his father, who remained involved despite moving away, instilling values of responsibility and community. Raised primarily by his mother, he attended Lutheran schools and developed an interest in poetry and rap during high school, influenced by conscious artists like KRS-One and Public Enemy, who showed him hip-hop could be a vehicle for social change and intellectual expression. He adopted the stage name Common Sense while studying business at Florida A&M University on a scholarship, though he left after 2 years to pursue music full-time, a risky decision that ultimately paid off when producer No ID helped him secure a deal with Relativity Records. His debut, Can I Borrow a Dollar, 1992, introduced his laid-back flow and clever wordplay, but his breakthrough came with Resurrection, 1994, featuring I Used to Love H.E.R., a metaphorical critique of hip-hop's commercialization that sparked a feud with Ice Cube and established Common as a voice for authentic hip-hop. He shortened his name to Common in 1995 after a legal dispute, releasing Like Like Water for Chocolate, 2000, which went gold with the hit single The Light, a beautiful love song that showed his versatility beyond political commentary. His Kanye West-produced era included B, 2005, Grammy-nominated and critically acclaimed, and Finding Forever, 2007, which won a Grammy for South Side, cementing his status as a commercially successful, conscious rapper. Beyond music, Common's acting career includes roles in Hell on Wheels, 2011-2014, John Wick Chapter 2, 2017, and currently stars as Robert Sims in Apple TV Plus' Silo, 2023-present, with seasons 3 to 4 confirmed, proving his range as a performer. He won an Academy Award for Glory with John Legend from Selma, 2014, plus an Emmy and Golden Globe, becoming one of few to achieve EGOT status proximity. In 2025, Common celebrated the 20th anniversary of Be With a limited edition vinyl in May and the 25th anniversary of Like Water for Chocolate in March, reflecting on their cultural impact. His collaboration with Pete Rock produced the Auditorium Volume 1, 2024, hailed for its boom bap revival, with 2025 bringing tour dates including symphony shows at Baltimore's Joseph Meyerhoff Symphony Hall and sold-out Blue Note NYC residencies. Philanthropically, he founded the Common Ground Foundation in 2007 to provide educational opportunities for underserved Chicago youth. At 54, Common embodies hip-hop with purpose. Chuck D. At number 5, we're talking about the voice of conscious rap himself, Chuck D, born August 1960, who's 65 and still dropping knowledge bombs with the same intensity, passion, and unwavering commitment to truth as 1988. Carlton Douglas Rittenauer grew up in Queens in a politically charged household with activist parents who instilled a sense of social justice that would define his entire career, artistic mission, and dedication to using hip-hop as a tool for liberation. The 1977 New York City blackout inspired him to write rhymes, channeling that chaos into creative expression and finding his voice. And after studying graphic design at Adelphi University, he co-founded Public Enemy in 1985 with Flavor Flav, Professor Griff, and Terminator X, assembling a revolutionary collective that would shake the foundations of hip-hop. Their 1988 album, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, was nothing short of revolutionary, addressing racism, media bias, and empowerment through tracks like Don't Believe the Hype and Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos, with sophisticated production, layered samples, and militant lyrics that challenged listeners to think critically. That album peaked at number 1 on Billboard's R&B hip-hop chart and is still hailed as one of hip-hop's greatest achievements, studied in universities worldwide, and analyzed for its sonic innovation and political messaging. Then came Fear of a Black Planet in 1990, featuring Fight the Power from Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, which became an anthem against institutional racism, police brutality, and systemic oppression, continuing to resonate at protests today, where activists chant its lyrics. Chuck D's baritone delivery and the Bomb Squad's chaotic sampling revolutionized conscious rap, creating dense sonic landscapes filled with multiple samples, sirens, scratches, and noise that mirrored the chaos of urban life while influencing artists from Kendrick Lamar to Rage Against the Machine. But Chuck never stopped evolving beyond music. He's an author, documentary narrator, podcast host, and activist, serving on the board of Trans-Africa Forum, advocating for African, Caribbean, and Latin American issues with unwavering commitment to global justice movements. In 2025, Public Enemy surprise released Black Sky Over the Projects, Apartment 2025 on June 27th, a 12-track album blending hip-hop, rap rock, and social commentary, available digitally with physical editions dropping October 10th. They celebrated with a one-off performance at London's Royal Albert Hall on June 27th, marking a historic return that had fans across the globe celebrating. Chuck also continues And You Don't Stop radio show on WBAI 99.5 FM, featuring artists like Atmosphere and Raekwon. From revolution to reflection, our next poet took those lessons and turned street stories into timeless scripture. Nas. Number 4 takes us to Queensbridge's poetic genius, Nas, born Nasir bin Oludara Jones on September 14th, 1973, who's 52 and still proving why he's considered one of the greatest lyricists to ever touch a microphone, period. Born in Brooklyn but raised in the Queensbridge Houses, the largest public housing project in North America, young Nasir grew up surrounded by poverty and violence, but also by music. His father, Oludara, was a jazz cornetist whose artistic influence shaped Nas's poetic approach approach to rap, teaching him that words could paint pictures and tell stories with cinematic depth. His parents separated when he was young, and he dropped out of school after 8th grade, self-educating through books on African history, the Bible, and street life, developing the intellectual foundation that would distinguish his lyrics from typical rap narratives. He began rapping as Kid Wave before adopting Nasty Nas, gaining early attention with a standout verse on Main Source's Live at the Barbecue, 1991, that had the entire underground buzzing about this unknown kid from Queens with otherworldly skills. His debut, Illmatic, 1994, recorded at age 19 to 20, is universally hailed as one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time, featuring production from DJ Premier, Large Professor, and Pete Rock, with tracks like NY State of Mind and The World Is Yours, capturing the grit, beauty, and complexity of New York street life with unmatched poetic precision. Albums like It Was Written, 1996, went quadruple platinum with If I Ruled the World, Imagine That, featuring Lauryn Hill, while Stillmatic, 2001, reignited his legendary feud with Jay-Z via Ether, one of the most devastating diss tracks in hip-hop history that had the entire culture choosing sides. In the 2020s, Nas experienced a creative renaissance with the King's Disease trilogy, 2020-2022, and Magic series, 2021-2023, all produced by Hit Boy, finally earning his first Grammy in 2021 after 15 nominations, proving legends can reinvent themselves at any age. As an entrepreneur, he co-founded Queensbridge Venture Partners in 2014, investing in over 100 startups like Dropbox, Lyft, Coinbase, and Ring, which Amazon acquired for $1 billion, building an estimated net worth of $100 million through smart investments. In 2025, Nas continues touring, performing Illmatic with symphonies, including the Pittsburgh Symphony and Las Vegas Philharmonic, bringing that classic album to life with orchestral arrangements. He's curating Mass Appeal's Legend Has It series, releasing albums for Ghostface Killah and Mobb Deep, Infinite, October 2025, while prepping his highly anticipated DJ Premier collaboration album dropping December 2025. Philanthropically, he founded the Paid in Full Foundation in 2023 and donated $3 million to the Hip Hop Museum. At 52, Nas proves poetic mastery never fades. Ice-T. At number 3, we got the OG gangsta rap pioneer, Ice-T, born February 16th, 1958, who's 67 and still hustling harder than cats half his age across multiple platforms. Tracy Lauren Marrow grew up in Newark, New Jersey, facing profound loss. His mother died when he was in 3rd grade, and his father passed when he was 13, leaving him orphaned and forcing him to navigate life alone without parental guidance. He moved to South Los Angeles View Park, Windsor Hills, navigating gang violence and poverty in Crenshaw, which would later fuel his raw, authentic storytelling that connected with street audiences and established his credibility. Ice-T's music career exploded in the early 80s, inspired by Iceberg Slim's pimp novels and Schoolie D's pioneering gangsta rap style, blending literary influence with street credibility and creating narratives that felt cinematic. His 1987 debut, Rhyme Pays, went gold and was the first hip-hop album to carry an explicit content warning, pioneering gangsta rap with narrative-driven street tales that painted vivid pictures of urban survival, drug dealing, and the consequences of street life. The breakthrough single 6 in the Morning in 1986 influenced Tupac, Biggie, Eminem, and NWA, defining gangsta rap's blueprint with its stark storytelling, unflinching honesty, and cinematic approach to narrating street experiences. But Ice-T didn't stop at rap. In 1990, he co-founded the heavy metal band Body Count, fusing rap and metal in a way nobody had done before, touring Lollapalooza and shocking audiences with the crossover that bridged two seemingly opposite musical worlds. Their 1992 track Cop Killer ignited controversy from President Bush to the NRA, leading to Time Warner dropping the album, but Ice defended it as free speech and artistic expression without backing down or apologizing. Body Count has released 8 albums, including Merciless in 2024, winning a Grammy for Bum Rush in 2020, proving their continued relevance in metal circles and among fans who appreciate aggressive, politically charged music. On the acting front, Ice-T's been playing Detective Odafin Finn Tutuola on Law & Order, SVU, since 2000, appearing in over 500 episodes, making him the longest-running male series actor in U.S. TV history. He earns around $250,000 per episode, and the show's renewed through 2026. In 2025, Ice is still grinding. Body Count performed at Warped Tour in Long Beach in July, and Welcome to Rockville in May. He continues his podcast Ice-T Final Level, with episodes featuring Snoop Dogg and Killer Mike. At 67, with a $65 million net worth, Ice-T proves the hustle never stops. Method Man. Coming in at number 2, we got the Wu-Tang general himself, Method Man, born Clifford Smith Jr. on March 2nd, 1971, who's 55 and still bringing that raw, charismatic energy that made him one of hip-hop's most beloved figures across multiple generations. Born in Hempstead, Long Island, Clifford split his early years between Long Island and Staten Island, developing a passion for lacrosse and forming key friendships that influenced his entry into rap, including meeting future Wu-Tang members who would change his life forever. His stage name draws from the 1979 film Method Man, reflecting his affinity for martial arts culture and the gritty, cinematic aesthetic that defined Wu-Tang Clan's revolutionary approach to hip-hop storytelling. He emerged in the early 1990s as part of Wu-Tang Clan, contributing to their legendary debut Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, 1993, with the solo track Method Man, showcasing his distinctive raspy voice and charismatic delivery that made him stand out even among Wu-Tang's incredible roster. As the first Clan member to release a solo album, T-Call, 1994, achieved platinum status and earned him a Grammy for I'll Be There For You, You're All I Need to Get By with Mary J. Blige, a crossover hit that introduced him to mainstream audiences while maintaining street credibility. His partnership with Redman formed one of hip-hop's greatest duos, releasing platinum albums like Blackout, 1999, and creating a chemistry that's still unmatched in terms of pure entertainment and lyrical tag teaming. Beyond music, Method Man transitioned to acting in the late 1990s, appearing in over 50 films and TV shows, including memorable roles as Tug Daniels in Oz and Cheese Wagstaff in The Wire, demonstrating serious acting chops that earned him respect in Hollywood. Since 2000, he's portrayed NYPD detective Odafin Finn, Tutuola's colleague Davis McLean in Power Book 2, Ghost, 2021 present, earning approximately $250,000 per episode and proving his longevity across entertainment platforms. In 2025, Method Man remains highly active, releasing Out of Control, with Redman featuring Coast Contra and Loaded Lux, and confirming in September that his stalled COVID-era album project with Havoc of Mobb Deep is progressing with added tracks paying homage to ODB and Prodigy. He competed on The Masked Singer as Stud Muffin and continues Method Man and Redman shows, including a Newark concert on July 17th. Philanthropically, through Wu-Tang for the Children, he supported over 10,000 kids, built a church in 2024, and plans a soup kitchen, giving back to communities that raised him. Finally, we have one man in the Bronx who lit the fuse that started it all, DJ Kool Herc. And at number 1, the undisputed father of hip-hop, DJ Kool Herc, born April 16th, 1955, who's 70 years old and still representing the culture he literally created from nothing but vision, innovation, and the desire to make people dance. Clive Campbell was born in Kingston, Jamaica, immigrating to the Bronx at age 12 in 1967, bringing with him the cultural influences of Jamaica's sound system tradition that would fundamentally shape his approach to DJing and party rocking. Growing up immersed in Jamaica's sound system culture, where DJs toasted over beats at massive outdoor parties with towering speakers, Herc brought that energy to New York, earning the nickname Hercules for his imposing stature and athletic prowess on the basketball court, which was later shortened to Kool Herc as he embraced his DJ persona and became a Bronx legend. On August 11th, 1973, at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, Herc organized a back-to-school party with his sister Cindy Campbell that became hip-hop's ground zero, the moment when everything changed forever and a new cultural movement was born. There, he introduced his merry-go-round technique, later known as breakbeat DJing, isolating and extending the instrumental break sections of funk, soul, and disco records, like James Brown's Give It Up or Turn It Up, and the incredible bongo band's Apache, by switching between two turntables with precision, creating a continuous loop that drove dancers wild. These breaks energized dancers, dubbed B-boys and B-girls, laying the foundation for breakdancing and the broader hip-hop culture that would encompass 4 elements: DJing, MCing, breakdancing, and graffiti art, all interconnected expressions of Bronx youth creativity. Herc's innovation shifted focus from passive listening to active participation, creating a communal, creative space for Black and Latino youth in the economically challenged Bronx of the 1970s, giving them a voice when society ignored them and mainstream culture dismissed their contributions. His powerful sound system, the Herculoids, was unmatched in power and clarity, drawing massive crowds and inspiring DJs like Grandmaster Flash Flash, and Africa Bambaataa to push innovations even further. Drawing from Jamaican traditions, Herc would toast over his beats, delivering rhythmic chants and shout-outs to energize the crowd, influencing early MCs like Kool Herc. In recent decades, Herc transitioned to cultural ambassador and mentor. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2007, and in 2023, during hip-hop's 50th anniversary, he was honored at events like Hip Hop 50 live at Yankee Stadium. At 70, DJ Kool Herc didn't just create a genre, he sparked a global cultural phenomenon. Thanks for watching. Check out other cards on the screen.